Joining me now is Stephen Miller, America First legal founder and former Trump senior advisor at the White House. And also with me is Indiana Congressman Jim Banks, Republican Study Committee. Steve, is this just giving the Democrats cover to stick it to Americans and continue this war on private vehicle ownership and use in the United States?
Well, it is very convenient. They shut down America's pipelines. They canceled leases for oil and natural gas drilling. They put enormous new restrictions on the ability to explore and expand energy domestically. And now they're saying, oh, well, you're really paying more for energy because of Vladimir Putin. So it really has nothing to do with any of the policy choices that we've made here in America. The truth is, there's one problem America should truly never have. And that is paying high prices at the pump or paying high prices to heat or cool your home, because we are one of the most energy-rich nations on planet Earth. We had energy independence under Donald Trump, and they made a decision, a voluntary decision, to end our energy independence.
Congressman Banks, think of where it would be today vis-a-vis Russia and the leverage they would have over us or not if we had just left Trump's policies in place. This is just yet another example of the situation around us crumbling because Biden stayed on the fanaticism and away from common sense.
Yeah, Lori, across the board, whether you're talking about going overnight from being an energy independent nation to one that's reliant on oil coming from foreign countries, especially from our adversaries like Russia, whether you're talking about the border crisis or crime rates around this country, on almost every crisis and issue facing America today, there is a direct line between decisions that Joe Biden and this administration made in the very first days when they came into office and the crisis that we're facing in this country today. And the very fact that across the board, on average, Americans are spending $1.25 more per gallon for gasoline at the pumps, that's directly related, as Stephen said, to stopping drilling on federal lands and ending construction of the Keystone Pipeline. That's why you're spending more at the pump. It's not because of Vladimir Putin.
And Stephen, the numbers for Biden and the new Gallup poll on Russia are abysmal. We keep asking how low can he go in polls. The question is there even a floor for Biden's support? I'm not sure there is, but it keeps edging lower and lower and lower. And do you think there's a hunger for more military involvement in this situation, ever precarious as it is, in Ukraine?
No, there most assuredly is not. And I will say, if you study the history of World War I, what you know is that complex networks of alliances combined with foolish, hasty, or rash thinking can potentially lead to enormous and deadly conflict. And so we have to tread with extreme care and caution here. We have to keep in mind part of the reason why people are so upset at Joe Biden is while they're seeing him stumbling and bumbling around Europe talking about Ukrainian sovereignty, they're also keenly aware of the fact that Joe Biden has actually launched a full-scale assault on American sovereignty and has erased our own southern border. So while we're paying more for energy prices because of his failed Europe policy, we are paying in American lives for his failed border policy.
And there was an interesting comment made by the Pentagon spokesman about this burgeoning bromance between President Xi and Putin, Congressman. I want to play it for you.
We certainly have been watching the, at least public, burgeoning relationship here between Russia and China. We would say that their tacit support, if you will, for Russia is deeply alarming and, frankly, even more destabilizing to the security situation in Europe.
Yeah, more destabilizing, I believe he said, than even what Russia is doing in Ukraine, Congressman. Who's responsible for driving Putin into Xi's harms? Are we still saying arms? Are we still saying it's Donald Trump's fault?
Without a doubt, we have the weakest president perhaps ever in the White House, who on a daily basis projects weakness and appeasement to our adversaries. For 4 years, the world was far more safe on Donald Trump's watch than any single day that Joe Biden has been in office. I mean, that is a fact. everything that we see from Russian aggression to China continuing to move toward their ultimate goals, Iran on the rise again, acting out and firing missiles and rockets at our greatest ally in Israel. Across the board, the world is far more safe for 4 years under Trump than it's ever been with Joe Biden in the White House, and it's that weakness that Putin is seeing. That's why he's acting out at this moment. I'm telling you, Chairman Xi and the Chinese Communist Party, the PLA, are watching the Biden weakness as well, which is going to have even more disastrous consequences down the road.
Steve, why do the elites think that Americans care more about defending Ukraine's border than our southern border? I never did figure that out.
I think that for some of them, there's obviously a lot of financial interests involved, and we've seen that with President Biden's family. I think in other cases, I think there's always been amongst both neocons and Democrats a segment who are excited by the prospect of foreign adventure overseas while being completely emotionally disconnected from and having no, in fact, emotional attachment to their own citizens, their own country, their own borders. And this administration typifies that, personifies it as no administration ever has before. They truly do not care about the fact that you have Chinese fentanyl pouring through Mexico into our communities, murdering our citizens. You have criminally illegal aliens being freed, preying on innocents, and they don't even care. No compassion for the American lives being lost.
Gentlemen, thank you both for being here tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.